Tonight, you are going on a journey. Not just any journey, but a voyage across the vast ocean of space itself, all the way to the Andromeda Galaxy. 2.5 million light years from home. A distance so immense that light itself, racing at impossible speeds, takes millions of years to cross it. But tonight, in this moment, you will drift there. You will see wonders that few have ever imagined. And you will do it all while wrapped in the deepest, most peaceful rest you have ever known. Take a slow breath in. Hold it gently. And release. You are standing at the entrance to your ship. It rises before you like a silver dream, sleek and quiet, its hull reflecting the last golden rays of sunset. The spacecraft is not loud or aggressive. It does not roar or shake. Instead, it seems almost alive, humming with a frequency so low and so soft that you feel it more than hear it. A gentle vibration that settles into your bones and tells you that everything is going to be all right. You step through the doorway. The air inside is clean and cool, carrying the faint scent of something you cannot quite name. Something like rain on stone or the first breath of morning. The corridor ahead is lined with soft, ambient light that pulses slowly, rhythmically, like the breathing of some vast and ancient creature. Blue, then violet, then blue again. The colors wash over you in waves, and with each wave, you feel a little more relaxed. A little more ready. Your footsteps are silent on the smooth floor as you make your way to the command deck. The walls around you seem to glow from within, as though the ship itself is made of captured starlight. Perhaps it is. Perhaps this vessel was built from materials drawn from distant suns, forged in the heart of nebulas, shaped by hands that understood the language of the cosmos. You do not need to know. You only need to trust that it will carry you safely across the infinite dark. The command deck opens before you, and you stop for just a moment to take it in. The room is circular, with a domed ceiling that arches high above your head. And that ceiling is made entirely of transparent material, so clear and so perfect that it feels as though there is nothing between you and the sky at all. Above you, the first stars are beginning to appear, pinpricks of silver against the deepening blue. Soon, they will be everywhere. But for now, they wait, patient and eternal. In the center of the room is your chair. The command chair. It is not large or imposing. It does not demand anything of you. Instead, it invites you. The surface is soft, upholstered in something that feels like the finest leather but warmer somehow, as though it remembers every person who has ever sat there and wants to welcome you in the same way. You move toward it, feeling the last of your tension beginning to dissolve. You lower yourself into the chair, and the moment you do, it seems to adjust itself around you. Not mechanically, but organically, like a living thing that knows exactly what you need. It cradles your back, supports your neck, and wraps gently around your shoulders. Your arms rest on soft supports that curve upward at just the right angle. Your legs extend comfortably before you. Every part of you is held, supported, safe. Take another breath. Deeper this time. And let it go. Around you, the control panels begin to glow with quiet light. There are no harsh buttons or blinking alarms. Instead, soft displays rise from the surfaces like mist, showing you images of the earth below, of the trajectory ahead, of the stars that await. But you do not need to touch anything. You do not need to do anything at all. The ship knows where you are going. It has always known. A voice speaks, soft and calm, filling the air around you. It could be the ship itself, or perhaps something deeper. Something older. Prepare for departure, it says, and the words are like a lullaby. All systems are ready. The journey begins now. You feel the chair recline slightly, adjusting to the perfect angle for what comes next. The transparent dome above you seems to expand until the entire universe is spread out before your eyes. The sky has deepened now to a rich indigo, and the stars are multiplying, one by one, like flowers opening in some vast celestial garden. And then, without fanfare, without noise, the ship begins to rise. There is no roar of engines, no shaking or vibration, only the gentlest sensation of lifting, as though you are a feather caught in an updraft of warm air. The ground falls away beneath you, but you do not feel it. You feel only the lightness, the freedom, the extraordinary peace of release. Gravity loosens its hold on you, and you begin to float, supported entirely by the chair, by the ship, by the invisible forces that carry you upward. You rise through the atmosphere like a bubble through water. Below, the city lights begin to spread out in golden webs, connecting towns and roads and rivers. Higher still, and the curvature of the earth begins to reveal itself, the horizon bending gently away in all directions. The sky around you shifts from indigo to deep purple, then to the pure, endless black of space. And the stars come out. Not one by one now, but in thousands. In millions. They fill the dome above and around you, so bright and so many that you cannot help but gasp at the beauty of it. Each one is a sun, burning across unimaginable distances, and their light has traveled for years, for centuries, just to reach your eyes in this moment. You are above the earth now. The ship hovers for just a moment, allowing you to look down at your home. It is a sphere of blue and white and green, swirled with clouds, glowing softly in the darkness. Oceans shimmer like liquid sapphire. Continents spread across the surface in shades of brown and emerald. The poles gleam with ice. It is so beautiful that it makes your heart ache, and yet you feel no sadness. Only gratitude. Only love for this small, perfect world that has held you all your life. But now, it is time to go. The ship turns, slowly and gracefully, orienting itself toward the void. The stars shift across the dome as the spacecraft rotates, and somewhere out there, invisible among the millions of lights, is Andromeda. Your destination. A galaxy so vast that it contains 1 trillion stars. 1 trillion worlds. 1 trillion stories waiting to be told. The ship begins to accelerate. Not with force, but with a smooth, steady increase in speed that you barely notice. The earth begins to shrink behind you, growing smaller and smaller, until it is no larger than a marble, then a pearl, then a single point of blue light among all the others. And still, you feel nothing but peace. You are weightless now. Completely and perfectly weightless. The chair holds you gently, but gravity has released you entirely. Your body feels lighter than air, lighter than thought. You could float away if not for the soft restraints, and even those feel like the embrace of someone who loves you, keeping you safe while you sleep. The stars stream past on all sides now, though you are not truly moving past them yet. The distances are too great. But the ship has begun its journey, slipping out of the solar system, leaving behind the sun and the moon and the familiar constellations. You are entering the space between, the vast and quiet dark that separates one world from another. Take one more breath. Slow and easy. And as you release it, let go of everything you no longer need. The worries of the day. The tension in your muscles. The thoughts that chase themselves in circles through your mind. Let them all drift away, back toward the blue star that was once your home. They cannot follow you here. Here, there is only the quiet. Only the dark. Only the stars. You are on your way to Andromeda. And the journey has only just begun. You are drifting now. Truly drifting. The ship moves forward through space at speeds that would be incomprehensible if you tried to understand them, but you do not try. You simply allow yourself to be carried, to be held, to surrender to the vast and gentle current that flows between the stars. And in this moment, you begin to notice something extraordinary. Something that most people never see, never even imagine. You begin to notice that darkness is not really dark at all. Look around you. Above you. Below you. In every direction, the space between the stars is alive with color. Not the bright, obvious colors of daylight, but something subtler. Something deeper. The darkness here is layered, textured, rich with hues that exist at the very edge of perception. There are shades of blue so deep they are almost black, but not quite. There are purples that fade into indigo, then into violet so pale it might be gray, or might be lavender, or might be something for which there is no name. The ship glides through these layers like a needle through silk, and as it does, the colors shift and change around you. Sometimes the void ahead is a deep charcoal, textured like velvet, soft and inviting. Sometimes it lightens to a dusky blue, the color of the sky just after sunset when the last light is fading but the night has not yet fully arrived. And sometimes, in the distance, you see veils of the faintest green, or amber, or rose, like watercolor washes on infinite canvas. These colors come from nowhere and everywhere. From distant nebulas too far away to see but close enough to stain the darkness with their light. From the cosmic background radiation that fills all of space, the ancient echo of the universe's birth, still singing its quiet song after nearly 14 billion years. From particles of dust and gas that catch the starlight and scatter it in ways that human eyes were never meant to perceive, but somehow, here, you can. You sink deeper into your chair, and the chair seems to sink with you, cradling you in its embrace. Your breathing has slowed now, matching the rhythm of the ship's movement, the gentle pulse of the engines that you feel more than hear. In and out. In and out. Like the breathing of the cosmos itself. The stars ahead begin to change. You are moving fast now. Faster than anything has ever moved. And at this speed, the stars are no longer points of light. They are lines. Streaks. Rivers of brilliance that flow past you on all sides, stretched and elongated by your velocity until they become ribbons of color painted across the darkness. But they move slowly. Despite the impossible speed of your journey, the stars drift past like clouds on a summer afternoon. A streak of white light emerges from the void ahead, grows brighter as it approaches, then slides past you to the left, fading gradually into the dark behind. Another appears, this one tinged with gold, warm and rich like honey, and it too passes by, taking its time, in no hurry to disappear. Then another, and another, each one a different color, a different brightness, a different story. Some are blue-white, young and fierce, burning with the intensity of new creation. Others are orange or red, ancient and wise, stars that have lived for billions of years and will live for billions more. There are doubles that spiral around each other as they pass, braiding their light into complex patterns. There are giants that fill your entire field of vision for a moment before sliding away. And there are small ones, quiet ones, that whisper past almost too faint to see, but you see them anyway, and you honor them for their presence. The streaks form a tunnel around you, a corridor of light leading forward into the infinite. It is hypnotic. Beautiful. You could watch them forever and never grow tired of their movement, their colors, their endless variety. Each star is unique. Each one has planets, perhaps, or dust rings, or stories of its own. Each one is a sun to someone, somewhere, or could be, or might have been long ago. And you realize something as you watch them pass. You realize that you are completely and utterly alone. And it is perfect. There are no messages here. No notifications. No pings or buzzes or demands for your attention. Your phone, if it even still works in this place, is silent. There are no emails accumulating in some invisible inbox. No tasks waiting for you to complete them. No appointments to remember or meetings to attend. All of that exists in another world, a world that is now so far behind you that its light has not even reached you yet. Here, in the space between galaxies, you are unreachable, untouchable, free in a way that you have not been free in longer than you can remember. There is no one to call your name, no one to need you or want you or expect something from you. There is only you, and the ship, and the endless quiet dark. And the quiet is profound. You have heard silence before, or thought you had. The silence of a library. The silence of a forest at dawn. The silence of your room in the middle of the night. But those were not true silence. There was always something. The hum of electronics, the rush of air through vents, the distant sound of traffic or wind or your own heartbeat. This is different. This is the silence of the void. The silence of a place where there is no air to carry sound, no molecules to vibrate, no medium through which waves can travel. If you spoke, the ship would capture your voice and transmit it through its systems, but out there, beyond the hull, your words would die instantly, unheard, absorbed into the nothingness. The ship itself makes almost no sound. There is the faintest hum from the engines, so low and so steady that it becomes part of the background, part of the fabric of the experience. It is not intrusive. It does not demand your attention. It is simply there, like your own breathing, a reassurance that the ship is alive, that it is working, that it is carrying you safely through the dark. Sometimes, very occasionally, you hear a soft chime. A gentle note that rises and fades, marking some milestone in your journey. A course correction, perhaps. A system check. A moment when the ship adjusts its trajectory by some infinitesimal amount to keep you on the path to Andromeda. But even these sounds are peaceful, musical, designed to soothe rather than startle. Otherwise, there is only the quiet. And in that quiet, your mind begins to settle in ways it never has before. The thoughts that usually race through your head, the endless stream of worries and plans and memories and what-ifs, begin to slow. They do not disappear entirely, not yet, but they lose their urgency. They drift past like the stars, acknowledged but not grasped, seen but not held. You watch them come and you watch them go, and you do not try to chase them or solve them or understand them. They are just thoughts, just movements of the mind, and they are free to pass. Your body has never been more relaxed. The weightlessness allows every muscle to release, every joint to soften. There is no pressure anywhere, no point of tension. Your shoulders have dropped away from your ears. Your jaw is loose. Your hands rest gently on the armrests, fingers uncurled, palms open. Even your eyelids feel light, ready to close, ready to surrender to the darkness behind them, which is just another shade of the darkness all around. The colors continue to shift. A region of space opens before you that is tinged with the deepest purple you have ever seen, so dark it is almost a bruise against the black. The streaks of starlight cutting through it take on violet hues, and for a while, everything is bathed in this twilight shade, this color of dreams and mysteries. Then it fades, giving way to a zone of clearer darkness, a black so pure and so complete that it feels like looking into infinity itself. The stars here are sharper, brighter, their streaks more defined against the emptiness. They trail behind them faint after images, ghost traces that linger for a moment before dissolving back into the void. You pass through a region where the darkness is tinged with amber, warm and golden, as though the space itself remembers sunlight from somewhere far away. Then another where it becomes cool and silvery, moonlight transformed into something cosmic and strange. Each shade brings with it a different feeling, a different quality of peace. And always, the isolation remains. That beautiful, necessary solitude. You are the only human being for millions upon millions of miles in any direction. The only consciousness in this vast expanse of space. And instead of feeling small, instead of feeling lost, you feel expanded. As though you have grown to fill the emptiness. As though you yourself have become as vast as the void. There is nowhere you need to be. Nothing you need to do. No one waiting for you to arrive or to respond or to explain yourself. You are simply here, in this moment, suspended between galaxies, watching the universe unfold around you in slow motion splendor. The ship carries you onward, patient and tireless, never rushing, never stopping. It knows the way. It has always known. And you trust it completely, this vessel of light and silence, this cradle that rocks you gently through the infinite night. Let your eyes grow heavy now. Let them close if they want to. The stars will still be there when you are ready to see them again. They are eternal. They are patient. They will wait for you as long as you need. Breathe in the darkness. Breathe out the light. You are safe here. You are held. You are exactly where you need to be. And the journey continues, quiet and deep, through the beautiful, colored dark. Something is changing. You feel it before you see it, a subtle shift in the quality of the journey. The ship is slowing. Not abruptly, not with any jolt or deceleration that you can consciously perceive, but gradually, gently, the way a bird glides to rest after a long flight. The stars that have been streaming past you in their slow, endless parade begin to move even more slowly now, their streaks shortening, their colors deepening, until they are no longer lines at all but points again, individual lights suspended in the void. And then, ahead of you, something begins to emerge from the darkness. At first, it is so faint that you think you might be imagining it. A barely perceptible glow, a suggestion of light where before there was only black. You blink slowly, your eyelids heavy, and when you open your eyes again, it is still there. Growing, brightening, spreading across the dome above you like the first hint of dawn on a distant horizon. But this is not dawn. This is something far greater. You are approaching the edge of the Andromeda Galaxy. And as the ship drifts closer, as the distance between you and that ancient island of stars diminishes from millions of light years to thousands to hundreds, the globe begins to resolve itself into something you can comprehend. Something beautiful beyond words. The galaxy has a halo. A vast, diffuse sphere of light that surrounds the bright core like an aura, like the corona of some impossibly enormous star. This halo extends outward for hundreds of thousands of light years, a bubble of faint illumination composed of ancient stars, wandering clusters, streams of gas, and the ghostly remnants of galaxies that were consumed long ago, their matter absorbed and scattered across this immense volume of space. The light is soft, gentle. It does not blaze or glare but glows with a quiet radiance that reminds you of moonlight filtered through mist, or the pale luminescence of deep-sea creatures in the ocean's darkest depths. The color is predominantly blue, a delicate, ethereal blue that seems to carry within it all the sadness and all the beauty of the universe. But there are other shades woven through it as well. Touches of violet at the edges, where the halo fades into the surrounding darkness. Hints of silver white where clusters of older stars gather, their combined light creating small regions of greater brightness within the glow. As the ship glides forward, you begin to see structure within the halo. Not the sharp, defined structures of planets or moons, but soft, flowing patterns that shift and blend like watercolors on wet paper. There are streamers of faint light that arc across the void, the remnants of ancient interactions between Andromeda and smaller galaxies that came too close and were torn apart by tidal forces. There are clouds of gas, glowing softly in shades of lavender and pale blue, illuminated by the ultraviolet radiation of distant stars you cannot yet see. The ship passes through the outer boundary of the halo, and suddenly, the darkness that has surrounded you for so long begins to recede. It does not disappear, not completely, but it retreats, pushed back by the presence of light from millions upon millions of stars. The void becomes a canvas, and that canvas is no longer empty but filled with the faintest wash of color, a background glow that emanates from every direction at once. You drift deeper. The ship moves with deliberate slowness now, giving you time to absorb what you are seeing, to let the magnitude of it settle into your awareness. And as you go, the stars begin to appear. Not all at once. Not in any sudden revelation. But gradually, like flowers opening one by one in an endless garden. A single point of light appears ahead, faint and white. Then another, off to the side, this one tinged with gold. Then 3 more, scattered across the dome. Then 10. Then 100. And suddenly, you realize that you cannot count them anymore because there are too many, because they are everywhere, because the entire sky around you is beginning to fill with stars. They are not the bright, nearby stars of your own galaxy. These are ancient stars, scattered through the halo, their light dimmed by distance and time. But there are so many of them that together they create a field of illumination, a soft glow that seems to come from the fabric of space itself. Each one is a tiny jewel, a pinprick of light in shades of white and blue and the palest violet. Some are steady, burning with the constant radiance of old age. Others seem to pulse gently, their brightness rising and falling with the slow rhythm of their own internal processes. You sink deeper into your chair, your body utterly relaxed, supported by the weightlessness and by the gentle embrace of the command seat. Your breathing is so slow now, so deep and regular that you barely notice it. In and out, like the tide, like the breathing of something vast and eternal. Your heart beats quietly in your chest, a calm and steady rhythm that matches the peaceful flow of the journey. The colors around you deepen as you move further into the halo. The blue takes on richer tones, becoming more saturated, more present. Regions of violet bloom and fade like bruises against the darkness, beautiful and strange. And everywhere, threaded through the blue and the violet, are veins of white light, pure and clean, the combined radiance of star clusters so distant that they appear as single glowing points. You pass through a cloud of gas. It looms ahead of you like a wall of mist, translucent and shimmering, glowing with its own internal light. The ship enters it without hesitation, and suddenly you are surrounded by wisps and tendrils of luminous vapor. The cloud is pale blue, almost white in places, and it swirls around the ship in complex patterns, responding to your passage, flowing around the hull like water around a stone in a stream. The stars beyond the cloud become diffused, their light scattered and softened by the particles of gas. Everything takes on a dreamlike quality, hazy and indistinct, as though you are seeing the universe through a veil. You can make out shapes in the mist, suggestions of form and structure. Denser regions where the gas has begun to clump together, perhaps one day to collapse and form new stars. Thinner areas where the cloud has been blown apart by ancient stellar winds. All of it glowing, all of it moving in slow, graceful motion. And then you emerge from the cloud, and the stars return, clearer now, more numerous. The density is increasing. You are moving into the outer regions of the galaxy proper, where the stars are no longer scattered and isolated but beginning to form patterns, structures, the first hints of the spiral arms that lie deeper within. You feel so small. So impossibly, incomprehensibly small. Each of the stars you see is a sun, burning with the same fires that warm the planets of your own solar system. Many of them are larger than your sun, some vastly larger, giants that could swallow 100 Earths without effort. And there are millions of them visible now, with billions more hidden beyond the limits of perception, stretching away into distances that your mind cannot truly grasp. But you do not feel lost. You do not feel afraid. Instead, you feel held, protected. The galaxy surrounds you like an embrace, its ancient light wrapping around you, welcoming you into its vastness. You are tiny, yes, but you are also part of something infinite. You are a single note in a symphony that has been playing for billions of years, and your presence here, in this moment, is exactly as it should be. The ship continues its slow drift through the outer reaches of Andromeda. Around you, the stars multiply and thicken, their combined light brightening the space between them. The background darkness is no longer black but a deep, soft blue, the color of the sky just before night gives way to day. Against this blue, the stars shine like diamonds on velvet, each one perfectly distinct, each one contributing its small portion of light to the greater whole. You pass another cloud, this one tinged with violet, glowing softly like a bruise against the blue. Then another, pale white and gossamer thin. The clouds are the remnants of stellar processes, the exhalations of dying stars, the raw material from which new stars will eventually form. They are beautiful in their own right, gentle and ephemeral, here for a moment in cosmic time and then dispersed, scattered, recycled into new forms. The feeling of peace that has been growing within you since the journey began deepens now into something profound, something that transcends mere relaxation. You are not just calm. You are connected. Connected to the ship, to the stars, to the clouds of glowing gas, to the vast and ancient galaxy that spreads out before you. You are part of it all, and it is part of you, and in this moment, there is no separation between your small human consciousness and the infinite cosmos. Your eyes drift closed. The light from the stars filters through your eyelids, turning the darkness behind them into a soft, glowing red. You can still sense the movement of the ship, the gentle forward drift, the slow passage through fields of light and clouds of luminous vapor. But you are letting go now, allowing yourself to sink deeper into the peace, into the stillness, into the perfect quiet of this place. The ship will carry you on. It will take you deeper into the galaxy, toward wonders you have not yet seen. But there is no hurry. There is all the time in the universe. You can rest here, floating in the halo of Andromeda, surrounded by ancient light, held by the darkness and the stars. Breathe in the blue. Breathe out the violet. Let the white light wash over you and through you, cleansing and gentle. You are safe here. You are home. And the journey continues, soft and slow, through the glowing edges of a galaxy 2.5 million light years from where you began. Ahead of you, something extraordinary is taking shape. At first, it appears as a subtle thickening of the light, a deepening of the blue glow that has surrounded you since you entered the galaxy's halo. But as the ship drifts forward, as the distance closes between you and this new wonder, you begin to see that it is not simply light at all. It is color. Real, vivid, impossible color, blooming out of the darkness like a garden suspended in the void. You are approaching a nebula. A vast cloud of gas and dust, light years across, lit from within by newborn stars whose fierce radiation sets the molecules around them glowing in shades that seem borrowed from dreams. The cloud fills the space ahead, expanding across your field of vision until it becomes everything, until there is nothing else to see but this magnificent tapestry of light and shadow woven across the cosmos. The edges of the nebula are soft, indistinct, fading gradually from color into the blue-black of space. But as you watch, those edges begin to sharpen, to define themselves, and you can see the complex structure of the cloud. It is not uniform. It is not simple. Instead, it is a landscape of ridges and valleys, of billowing pillars and delicate veils, of dense knots where the gas has collapsed into itself and thin wisps that trail away into nothingness. And the colors. The colors are like nothing you have ever seen. The dominant hue is pink. Not the bright, artificial pink of neon signs or painted walls, but a soft, organic pink, the color of wild roses at dawn or the inside of a seashell held up to the light. It glows with a gentle warmth that seems to radiate outward from the heart of the nebula, suffusing the entire cloud with its rosy luminescence. This pink comes from hydrogen, the most abundant element in the universe, excited by starlight until it shines with this particular, unmistakable shade. But woven through the pink are other colors, layers and veils of hue that shift and blend as your perspective changes. There are regions of deep violet, rich and luxurious, pooling in the denser parts of the cloud like wine and crystal. These are areas where oxygen atoms glow, energized by the same stellar radiation that lights the hydrogen. The violet fades into lavender at its edges, then into a pale purple so light it is almost white, creating gradients of color that flow and merge like watercolors bleeding into one another on wet paper. And there, threading through the pink and the violet, are streaks and patches of gold. Not the harsh, yellow gold of metal, but a soft, warm gold, the color of honey or amber or the last light of sunset. These golden regions mark places where sulfur atoms are glowing, adding their own contribution to the nebula's palette. The gold seems to catch and hold the light, creating small pools of warmth within the cooler tones that surround them. The ship slows even further, its forward motion becoming barely perceptible, and then you enter the nebula. You pass through the outer boundary of the cloud as gently as passing through a curtain of silk, and suddenly, the universe transforms. You are inside the nebula now, surrounded by it, embraced by it. The gas presses close to the ship, not physically but visually, filling every centimeter of the transparent dome with color and light. It is like being inside a cloud, but a cloud made of stardust, of cosmic vapor, of the raw materials from which stars and planets will one day form. The nebula wraps around you like a blanket, soft and warm and infinitely comforting. The pink glow suffuses everything. It filters through the gas and waves, creating layers of illumination that stack upon each other like sheets of colored glass. Where the gas is thin, the pink is pale and delicate, almost transparent. Where it is denser, the color deepens to rose, then to something closer to crimson, rich and full. The light seems to pulse gently, not with any regular rhythm but with a slow, organic variation, as though the nebula itself is breathing. Wisps of gas drift past the ship, moving with currents you cannot see but can only infer from their motion. They spiral and curl, forming temporary shapes that dissolve almost as soon as they appear. A tendril of violet vapor rises from below, twisting as it moves, catching the light and glowing like an amethyst ribbon in the dark. It brushes past the dome, so close you feel you could reach out and touch it, and then it disperses, breaking apart into smaller strands that drift away in different directions. The ship glides forward, and the nebula flows around it like water around a smooth stone. You can see the gas parting before you, creating a gentle wake, then closing again behind, leaving no trace of your passage. The motion is hypnotic, soothing, like watching waves on a calm sea or leaves drifting down a slow river. There is no resistance here, no friction. Only the soft, continuous movement of the ship through the glowing mist. A cloud of gold drifts into view from the right, tumbling slowly end over end. It is small, perhaps only a few light years across, a knot of sulfur-rich gas that shines with its own internal radiance. As it rotates, the light catches different facets of its surface, creating highlights and shadows, making it seem almost solid despite being composed of atoms so dispersed that a human could pass through it without feeling anything at all. You watch it drift past, marveling at its color, at the way the gold contrasts with the pink background, creating a moment of warmth in the cool tones that surround it. The warmth is not just visual. You feel it, somehow, as though the nebula's glow carries with it actual heat. Your skin seems to tingle with a gentle warmth, not uncomfortable but pleasant, like lying in a patch of sunlight on a cool autumn day. The sensation spreads across your face, down your arms, settling into your chest where it mingles with the steady rhythm of your heartbeat. You are being warmed by starlight, by the radiation of newborn suns hidden somewhere in the depths of the cloud, their light filtered and softened by light years of gas until it becomes this gentle, nurturing glow. Your muscles, already relaxed from the long journey through space, seem to relax even further. The warmth seeps into them, dissolving the last traces of tension you did not even know were there. Your shoulders sink deeper into the chair. Your hands rest even more loosely on the armrests, fingers barely touching the soft surface. Even your breathing, already slow and deep, becomes slower still, each inhalation drawing in the peace of the nebula, each exhalation releasing anything that does not serve your rest. The ship passes through a region where the pink and violet blend together, creating a transitional zone of color that shifts from one shade to the other in a continuous gradient. The change is so gradual that you cannot point to any specific location where pink becomes purple, where purple becomes pink. It simply flows, one hue melting into the next, creating a spectrum of intermediate tones that have no names because they exist only here, only in this place, only in this moment. Pillars of denser gas rise around you, towering structures that extend for dozens of light years in each direction. They are illuminated from behind by hidden stars, their edges glowing with a brilliant outline of white light while their interiors remain dark, shadowed, mysterious. The ship glides between two such pillars, and for a moment you are in a canyon of cosmic proportions, walls of glowing gas rising on either side, their peaks lost in the haze above. The light plays across the surfaces of these pillars in endlessly complex ways. Where the gas is smooth, the light is even and steady. But where there are irregularities, where the density varies or where currents have carved out hollows and ridges, the light creates patterns. Swirls and eddies. Bright spots and dark pools. Streaks of color that run vertically, following the flow of magnetic fields you cannot see. It is like watching light play on water, but slowed down, stretched out, transformed into something monumental and eternal. A cluster of young stars emerges from the mist ahead, their light blazing through the gas like lighthouses through fog. They are blue-white, hot and fierce, and their radiance creates expanding spheres of clarity in the nebula around them, pushing back the gas, creating bubbles of relatively empty space. But even these bubbles glow, filled with the diffuse reflection of starlight from the walls of gas that surround them. The ship passes near one such bubble, and the quality of the light changes, becoming brighter, clearer, the colors more saturated and vivid. Then you drift back into the denser regions, and the softness returns. The pink wraps around you again, gentle and warm. The violet swirls in from the sides, adding depth and shadow. The gold flickers in small patches, like fireflies in summer twilight, each one a tiny beacon of warmth in the cool vastness. You could stay here forever. The thought drifts through your mind like one of the wisps of gas drifting past the ship. You could remain in this place, surrounded by color and light, held by the warmth, cradled in the heart of creation itself. There is no time here, or if there is, it moves so slowly that it might as well not exist. The nebula has been here for millions of years and will be here for millions more, slowly collapsing under its own gravity, forming new stars, new worlds, new possibilities. And in this moment, you are part of that process. You are witnessing it. You are held within it. The atoms that make up your body were once part of a nebula like this one, forged in the hearts of ancient stars that lived and died long before the Earth was born. You are stardust, given form and consciousness, returned now to the place where all things began. The ship continues its slow drift through the glowing clouds. There is no destination within the nebula, no particular place you are trying to reach. The journey itself is the point, the experience of being here, of seeing this, of feeling the warmth and the color and the impossible, dreamlike beauty of it all. Let your eyes close again. The colors remain, painted on the inside of your eyelids in soft gradients of pink and violet and gold. The warmth remains, settling into your bones, your blood, your breath. The gentle motion of the ship remains, rocking you slowly, carefully, through the cosmic mist. You are wrapped in a blanket of stars. You are held by the light of creation. You are safe and warm and perfectly, completely at peace. And the nebula dreams around you, glowing softly in the endless dark. The nebula begins to thin around you, its colors fading gradually from their rich, saturated hues into something paler, more transparent. The pink lightens to the softest blush, then to white, then dissolves entirely. The violet retreats to the edges of your vision and vanishes like mist in morning sun. The gold flickers once, twice, and goes dark. And slowly, gently, the ship emerges from the cloud of glowing gas into clear space once more. But this is not the same darkness you traveled through before. This space is different. Changed. Transformed by what lies ahead. You see them in the distance first, catching the light. Small glints of brilliance scattered across the black, like stars but closer, brighter, moving in ways that stars do not move. They twinkle and flash, appearing and disappearing as they turn, as they catch the light from different angles, as they reveal and conceal their reflective surfaces in an endless, mesmerizing dance. The ship drifts closer, and the glints begin to resolve into shapes, into objects, into thousands upon thousands of asteroids, each one made not of rock or metal but of ice. Pure, crystalline ice, frozen for billions of years in the cold of space, sculpted by ancient impacts and cosmic rays into forms of startling beauty. This is a field of crystal, a garden of diamonds suspended in the void, and you are gliding into its heart. The asteroids are not packed close together. There is no danger here, no threat of collision. They drift in the silence, separated by miles, by tens of miles, each one following its own slow orbit around some invisible center of gravity, each one moving with the patience of eternity. The ship will pass between them with ease, with grace, disturbing nothing, touching nothing, simply witnessing their quiet dance. As you enter the field, the first asteroid passes to your left, perhaps 5 miles away. It is enormous, a mountain of ice tumbling slowly through space, its surface catching the light of distant stars and reflecting it back in brilliant flashes. The ice is not smooth but textured, covered in ridges and valleys, in craters and cliffs, in faces and facets that gleam like cut gemstones. As it rotates, the light plays across these surfaces, creating constantly shifting patterns of brightness and shadow. The starlight that strikes the asteroid is white, but the ice transforms it. Where the crystal is pure and clear, the light passes through, refracting into rainbows, creating small bursts of color that shimmer and disappear as the asteroid turns. Where the ice is clouded with trapped bubbles or impurities, the light scatters, creating a soft glow that surrounds the asteroid like an aura. And where the surface is smooth and polished by eons of micro-impacts, the light reflects in sharp, brilliant flashes that sparkle like diamonds catching sunlight. Another asteroid drifts past on the right, smaller than the first but no less beautiful. This one is more irregularly shaped, elongated and narrow, spinning end over end with graceful slowness. Each rotation takes minutes, perhaps hours, time stretched and distorted in the silence of space. The ice sparkles as it turns, sending out pulses of reflected light that wash over the ship, illuminate the dome for a brief moment, then fade as the asteroid rotates away. The silence here is absolute, more profound even than the silence of the void between galaxies. There, at least, you had the movement of the ship, the faint hum of the engines, the sense of traveling through something, even if that something was emptiness. But here, in the asteroid field, even those subtle sensations seem to recede. The ship glides forward on momentum alone, its engines quiet, its systems so perfectly balanced that there is no vibration, no sound, no indication of motion except the slow passage of the ice crystals past your windows. In this silence, you become aware of your own breath again. The soft whisper of air moving in and out of your lungs. The gentle rise and fall of your chest. It is the only sound in the universe, the only movement that matters. And even that begins to slow, to deepen, to match the unhurried pace of the asteroids drifting through the dark. More asteroids appear around you now, scattered across the three-dimensional space like stars in a constellation, but moving, always moving, each one following its own path. Some are the size of houses, others the size of mountains, a few so large they could be moons, worlds unto themselves. They come in every conceivable shape. Spheres worn smooth by time. Jagged fragments with sharp edges and broken faces. Flat plates of ice spinning like coins. Long, needle-like shards that glitter along their entire length. And they are all beautiful. Every single one is a work of art, sculpted by forces beyond human control, polished by the vacuum of space, illuminated by the light of stars that may have died thousands of years ago, their light only now reaching this distant field. The light itself becomes a presence, almost a living thing. It bounces from asteroid to asteroid, reflecting and refracting, creating a complex network of illumination that fills the space around you. A flash from one crystal catches another, which sends the light spiraling off to a third, which reflects it back in a different direction. The result is a constant, subtle sparkle, a gentle glitter that permeates the field like dust motes dancing in a shaft of sunlight, but slower, softer, more deliberate. You watch an asteroid drift past directly ahead, close enough that you can see details on its surface. There are cracks running through the ice, deep fissures that divide the crystal into irregular sections. Within these cracks, the light creates prismatic effects, splitting into component colors, painting the interior of the asteroid with thin lines of red and blue and green. The cracks themselves seem to glow from within, as though the asteroid holds some internal light source, though you know it is only starlight, trapped and transformed by the geometry of ice. The asteroid rotates slowly, presenting new facets to your view. One side is relatively smooth, a vast plain of clear ice that reflects the stars behind you, creating the illusion of depth, of windows into other spaces. Another side is rough and fractured, covered in small impact craters that scatter the light in all directions, creating a soft, diffuse glow. And as it turns, these surfaces trade places, smooth becoming rough, rough becoming smooth, in an endless cycle that has repeated billions of times and will repeat billions more. Your mind begins to drift, and you let it. The asteroids remind you of thoughts, the way they float through consciousness, appearing from nowhere, drifting across your awareness and disappearing again into the dark. Some thoughts are large and bright, demanding attention, impossible to ignore. Others are small and faint, barely noticed before they vanish. But all of them are temporary. All of them pass. You watch the asteroids drift by, and you think of the worries that occupied your mind earlier. They seem distant now, unimportant, as far away as Earth itself. They are just objects, just pieces of mental debris tumbling through the space of your awareness. You do not need to hold on to them. You do not need to examine them or understand them or solve them. You can simply watch them drift past, acknowledge their presence, and let them go. An asteroid appears ahead, spinning slowly, catching the light in rhythmic flashes. You watch it approach, watch it pass, watch it recede into the darkness behind you. It was there, and now it is gone, and the space it occupied is empty again, clear and quiet and still. Another thought released. Another burden laid down. More asteroids drift by. A cluster of 3, orbiting each other in a slow, graceful waltz, their surfaces reflecting light back and forth in a complex pattern of mutual illumination. A single large crystal, perfectly spherical, rotating so slowly that its motion is almost imperceptible, glowing with a soft, even light. A fragment shaped like a shard of glass, sharp and angular, flashing brilliant white each time its polished edge catches the stars. Each one is unique. Each one is temporary. Each one passes and is replaced by another, then another, in an endless procession that continues whether you watch or not, whether you think about it or not. The universe does not require your attention. It unfolds according to its own rhythms, its own patterns, independent and eternal. The sparkle of light on ice creates a hypnotic effect, like watching snow fall at night, or rain on a window, or waves rolling onto a beach. Your eyes grow heavy, weighted down by the peace of it all, the repetitive beauty, the slow and steady drift of crystal through darkness. You could close your eyes now and the scene would continue, playing on the inside of your eyelids, memories of light and ice blending with dreams. The ship continues forward, passing between asteroids that tower above and below, around and beside. They frame your passage like pillars in some vast, frozen cathedral, their surfaces glowing with borrowed light, their shapes creating negative spaces that are as beautiful as the objects themselves. The emptiness between the asteroids is not truly empty but filled with light, with reflected radiance, with the accumulated glow of 1,000,000 crystals all shining at once. And in this light, you feel lighter yourself. As though the weight of your body has diminished even further, as though you are becoming transparent like the ice, allowing the light to pass through you, to illuminate you from within. Your thoughts continue to drift away, each one an asteroid spinning off into the dark, each one carrying with it some small burden you no longer need to carry. Worry floats past, tumbling slowly, reflecting light in fractured patterns. You watch it go. Doubt appears, jagged and irregular, but it too drifts away, its sharp edges softening as it recedes. Regret glides by, heavy and slow, but the darkness accepts it, absorbs it, and it is gone. Each thought, each feeling, each small piece of mental debris is released into the silence, into the vastness, into the infinite patience of space. What remains is clarity. The clear, crystalline quality of a mind at rest. The transparency of ice under starlight. The simple, uncomplicated peace of being present in this moment, in this place, surrounded by beauty and silence and the gentle, endless drift of frozen light. The asteroids continue past. They will drift here long after you have gone, long after the ship has carried you deeper into the galaxy, long after you have awakened and returned to the world of motion and sound and time. But for now, they are yours to witness, yours to enjoy, yours to use as mirrors for the letting go of everything that does not serve your deepest rest. Breathe in the sparkle. Breathe out the thought. Let the crystals carry your mind into their slow, eternal dance, until there is nothing left but light and ice and the perfect, profound silence of space. And drift. Simply drift. Like the asteroids. Like the light. Like a thought releasing itself into the dark. The asteroid field falls away behind you, the last crystals fading into darkness, their sparkle diminishing until they are indistinguishable from the distant stars. The ship drifts forward into clear space once more, and for a time there is only the familiar darkness, the quiet blue-black of the void, scattered with the faint points of light that mark the locations of distant suns. But ahead, something is different. Two stars shine brighter than the rest, standing out against the background of scattered light not just by their brilliance but by their relationship to one another. They are close, impossibly close by cosmic standards, and as you watch, as the ship carries you nearer, you begin to understand what you are seeing. These are binary stars. Two ancient suns locked together in an eternal dance, orbiting around a common center of gravity, bound by forces that have held them together for billions of years and will hold them for billions more. They are partners in the oldest sense, companions through time, each one influencing the other, shaping the other, completing the other in ways that make them inseparable. The ship adjusts its course slightly, angling toward this stellar pair, and as the distance closes, the stars begin to reveal their individual characteristics, their unique colors and qualities. One of the stars glows with a soft, warm orange light. It is an old star, ancient beyond measure, its nuclear fires burning low and steady after eons of fusion. The orange is not harsh or bright but gentle, the color of embers in a dying fire, of autumn leaves backlit by sunset, of warm amber held up to candlelight. This star has lived a long life already, converting its hydrogen into helium with patient, methodical precision, and it will continue to burn for ages yet to come, steady and reliable and calm. The other star is smaller, cooler, its light a pale, delicate blue. Not the fierce blue-white of young, hot stars, but something softer, more subtle, like winter sky at twilight or ice under moonlight. This blue carries within it a quality of serenity, of quiet contemplation, as though the star itself has found peace in its existence, content to shine with this particular shade, this particular intensity, for as long as the universe allows. Together, the two stars create a harmony of color that fills the space around them. The orange and the blue do not clash or compete but complement each other, balance each other, create between them a spectrum of intermediate hues that shift and blend depending on the angle of view, the distance, the way their light mingles in the emptiness between. The ship glides closer, and the light from the binary pair begins to fill the dome above you. It enters the cabin in waves, washing over the surfaces of the ship's interior, painting everything in alternating tones of warmth and coolness. First, the orange light dominates, bathing you in its gentle glow, making the space around you feel cozy and protected, like sitting beside a fireplace on a winter evening. Then the ship's motion brings the blue star into prominence, and the light shifts, becomes cooler, more ethereal, transforming the cabin into something dreamlike and distant. But mostly, the two lights mix, creating combinations that are endlessly varied and endlessly beautiful. Where the orange and blue overlap, they produce shades of coral and peach, of lavender and soft pink, of colors that have no names because they exist only here, only in the presence of these two stars, only when their light combines in exactly this way. You can see the stars more clearly now. They are not touching, not physically, but they are close enough that their gravitational fields interact, pulling on each other, creating slight distortions in their shapes. The orange star is slightly elongated, stretched toward its companion by tidal forces. The blue star, smaller and denser, shows less deformation but is clearly affected nonetheless, its orbit shaped and maintained by the presence of its partner. They orbit each other slowly, majestically, taking years to complete a single revolution. From your perspective, their motion is barely perceptible, but if you watch carefully, if you allow your eyes to relax and your perception to soften, you can sense it. The orange star moves imperceptibly to the left. The blue star drifts to the right. They circle their common center, that invisible point in space that lies between them, that belongs to both of them equally. This is what balance looks like. This is what harmony means. Not sameness, but complementarity. Not uniformity, but mutual support. The orange star and the blue star are different in almost every way. Different sizes, different temperatures, different colors, different stages of stellar evolution. But those differences do not divide them. Instead, they create a relationship that is stronger, more stable, more enduring than either star could achieve alone. The light continues to wash over you in gentle waves. Orange warmth spreads across your face, down your neck, into your shoulders. You feel it as heat, but also as comfort, as safety, as the presence of something ancient and reliable. Then the blue light follows, cool and soothing, like a breeze on a summer night, like water flowing over stone, refreshing and clean and pure. Your breathing has synchronized with the shifting light, though you did not consciously choose for this to happen. You breathe in when the orange light is strongest, drawing in the warmth, feeling it fill your lungs and spread through your body. You breathe out when the blue light dominates, releasing any remaining tension, letting the coolness carry away anything you do not need. The ship passes between the two stars, though at a safe distance, far enough that their radiation poses no threat, but close enough that you can appreciate their scale, their power, their magnificent presence. The orange star looms to your left, a vast sphere of glowing gas hundreds of times larger than Earth's sun, its surface whirling with slow convection currents that create patterns of lighter and darker orange across its face. You can see prominences arcing above the surface, loops of plasma following magnetic field lines, moving with dreamlike slowness in the star's thin atmosphere. To your right, the blue star burns with its quieter light. It is smaller, more compact, but no less impressive. Its surface is smoother, less turbulent, the blue glow steady and even. There are subtle variations in shade, regions where the star is slightly hotter or cooler, creating a mottled pattern like clouds seen from a great distance. But these variations are gentle, understated, adding texture without disrupting the overall sense of calm. The space between the two stars is not empty. There are streams of gas flowing from the orange star toward the blue one, matter pulled away by gravitational forces and transferred from one companion to the other. These streams glow faintly, lit from within by the energy of their motion, creating luminous bridges that connect the two stars, visible evidence of their interaction, their exchange, their long and intimate relationship. You watch one of these streams arc through the void, a river of glowing gas millions of miles long, curving as it falls from the orange star toward the blue. The gas glows with a mixture of both stars' light, orange and blue combined into shades of violet and rose. It moves slowly, taking days or weeks to complete its journey from one star to the other, patient and unhurried, following paths worn smooth by billions of years of repetition. The feeling of stability here is profound. These stars have been orbiting each other since before the Earth existed, since before the solar system formed, since before life began anywhere in the galaxy. They will continue to orbit long after humanity has ended, long after the planets have been reduced to dust, long after every trace of civilization has vanished. They are eternal, or as close to eternal as anything in the universe can be, and their dance is a testament to the power of balance, of partnership, of two things finding their proper relationship and maintaining it across the vastness of time. Your body feels heavy now, but it is a good heaviness, the weight of deep relaxation, of muscles that have finally released every last bit of tension. Your legs rest heavily against the chair, solid and still, all energy drained away. Your arms lie motionless on the armrests, fingers uncurled, palms open, receiving the light from the binary stars. Even your head feels heavy, supported by the chair's gentle embrace, too heavy to lift, too comfortable to move. The orange light washes over you again, and you feel yourself sinking deeper into that warmth, into that sense of being held by something vast and caring. The blue light follows, and you sink deeper still, into coolness and clarity and perfect peace. Orange and blue, warm and cool, balance and harmony, the eternal dance playing out not just in the space around you but within you, your own body finding its equilibrium, its rest, its proper relationship with stillness. The ship begins to move past the binary pair, and slowly, gradually, the stars slip behind you. But their light remains, reflected off particles of dust, off the ship's hull, off the invisible fields of gas that permeate all of space. The orange and blue continue to mix and mingle, creating their subtle harmonies, their gentle gradients, their wordless song of balance. You think about partnerships, about relationships, about the things in your life that complement each other rather than competing. The inhale and the exhale, the waking and the sleeping, the effort and the rest. Like the binary stars, these pairs exist in relationship, each one made more complete by the presence of the other, each one finding meaning in the balance between them. The light grows dimmer now as the ship continues forward, but it does not disappear entirely. Even after the stars themselves have vanished behind you, their combined glow remains visible, a soft radiance in the darkness, orange and blue merged into a single point of gentle light. They are still there, still orbiting, still dancing their slow and eternal dance, whether you watch them or not, whether you think of them or not. And you carry something of them with you now. The memory of their light, the feeling of their balance, the understanding that some things endure, that some partnerships last, that some dances continue forever, patient and steady and sure. Your eyes close, though you barely notice the transition. The light from the binary stars still glows behind your eyelids, soft orange and pale blue swirling together, creating patterns that shift and flow like watercolors in water. The patterns slow, simplify, fade into softer and softer shades until there is only a gentle glow, warm and cool at once, balanced and harmonious and complete. The ship carries you onward, deeper into the galaxy, toward wonders you have not yet seen. But the binary stars remain behind you, eternal and patient, their light reaching across the void to touch you one last time before releasing you into the dark. Breathe in the orange. Breathe out the blue. Let the balance settle into your bones, your blood, your deepest self. You are held. You are safe. You are exactly where you need to be. And the dance continues, forever and ever, in the heart of the ancient stars. The ship glides through the darkness, leaving the binary stars far behind, and for a time there is only the familiar void, the scattered points of distant light, the quiet hum of systems maintaining your course through the vastness. But something has changed in the quality of the journey. You can feel it, a subtle shift in the air, in the light, in the very purpose of the ship's motion. You are no longer simply traveling. You are approaching. You are arriving. Ahead, barely visible at first against the background of stars, a darkness appears. But this is not the darkness of empty space. This is something solid, something real, a sphere of shadow that blocks out the stars behind it, creating a circular void in the field of light. As the ship drifts closer, as the distance narrows from light years to mere millions of miles, this void begins to grow, to expand, to reveal itself as what it truly is. A planet. A world. Your destination. This is not a planet like Earth, orbiting a sun, bathed in daylight and warmth. This is a rogue world, a wanderer, cast out from whatever solar system gave it birth countless eons ago, now drifting alone through the spaces between stars. It has no sun to light its surface, no parent star to provide heat or energy. It travels in solitude, in silence, in perpetual twilight, carrying with it only the warmth left over from its formation and the faint glow of its own internal processes. And yet, as you draw nearer, you begin to see that it is not dark. Not truly. Because this world has learned to make its own light. The planet emerges from the darkness like a pearl from black velvet, and you can see now that it glows. Softly, gently, but unmistakably, the surface of the world emits a faint luminescence, a ghostly radiance that comes not from any external source but from the planet itself, from the life that covers its surface, from organisms that have adapted to the endless night by becoming their own stars. The glow is predominantly blue-green, the color of deep ocean water lit from below, of phosphorescence in tropical seas, of fireflies gathered in their thousands on a summer night. But there are other colors woven through it as well. Patches of pale violet, streaks of soft amber, small regions that pulse with a gentle pink light, like the beating of some vast, slow heart. The entire planet seems to breathe with light, the intensity rising and falling in waves, creating patterns that shift across the surface like weather systems made of luminescence. The ship continues its approach, and details begin to emerge. You can see continents, or what might be continents, regions where the glow is brighter, denser, more varied in color. You can see what might be oceans, darker areas that nonetheless carry their own subtle illumination, glowing from beneath with cold, blue light. There are no sharp boundaries, no clear divisions, only gradual transitions from one shade to another, from one intensity to the next, the whole world wrapped in a soft, bioluminescent embrace. The atmosphere of the planet becomes visible as a thin halo surrounding the dark sphere, a delicate shell of gas that glows faintly purple in the starlight. This atmosphere is thick, protective, holding in the warmth that rises from the planet's core, maintaining conditions that allow life to persist despite the absence of a sun. The purple deepens toward the planet's surface, creating layers of color, gradients of twilight that never brighten to day and never darken to full night. The ship begins its descent, angling toward the glowing world, adjusting its trajectory with small, precise movements. There is no hurry, no rush. The planet has waited here in the dark for millions of years. It can wait a few moments more. You enter the outer reaches of the atmosphere, and the quality of the light around you changes immediately. The harsh clarity of space gives way to something softer, more diffuse, as the ship passes through layers of gas and cloud. The stars outside the dome begin to blur, their points of light spreading and merging, creating a background glow that fills the sky with subtle radiance. The purple clouds rise to meet you, vast formations that tower for miles into the upper atmosphere, their edges glowing with reflected light from the bioluminescent surface far below. The ship glides into the first cloud bank, and suddenly you are surrounded by color. Not the deep, saturated purple of the nebulae you passed through earlier, but a lighter shade, almost lavender, soft and gentle and welcoming. The clouds wrap around the ship like silk scarves, flowing past the dome in smooth, continuous motion. There is no turbulence, no shaking or buffeting. The descent is as gentle as everything else on this journey, a slow glide through layers of atmosphere, each one slightly denser than the last, each one bringing you closer to the surface below. Through gaps in the clouds, you catch glimpses of the world beneath. The bioluminescent glow is brighter now, more detailed, revealing patterns of light that suggest forests, rivers, vast plains covered in organisms that shine like stars brought down to earth. Some areas pulse slowly, their light waxing and waning in synchronized rhythms. Others glow steadily, constant beacons in the twilight. And some flicker and dance, quick movements that might be living creatures, beings adapted to this strange and beautiful world. The ship emerges from the cloud layer into clearer air, and the full majesty of the rogue planet spreads out below you. The landscape glows in every direction, rolling hills outlined in blue-green light, valleys filled with pools of luminescence, mountain ranges whose peaks shine with pale violet fire. There are no cities here, no signs of technology or civilization, only the natural radiance of a world that has evolved its own response to darkness, creating light from life, from chemistry, from the determination to shine against the void. You can see individual features now as the ship descends lower. Forests of tall, slender structures that might be trees, each one glowing along its length like a strand of fiber optic cable, blue and green light pulsing upward from root to crown. Fields of what might be flowers or fungi, spreading across the ground in intricate patterns, their light soft and golden, creating pools of warm radiance in the cool twilight. Rivers that flow with water carrying suspended bioluminescent organisms, their courses marked by ribbons of glowing blue that wind through valleys and across plains. The feeling that rises in you is unmistakable, overwhelming in its quiet intensity. This is homecoming. Not home in the literal sense, not the place where you began, but home in a deeper way. A place of rest. A place of safety. A place where you are meant to be, at least for this moment, at least for this night. Your body knows it before your mind fully comprehends it. Your muscles, already deeply relaxed, seem to release even further, as though they have been waiting for this permission, this signal that the journey is nearly complete, that rest is close at hand. Your breathing deepens, slows, each inhalation drawing in the awareness of arrival, each exhalation releasing the last vestiges of motion, of travel, of going anywhere at all. The ship descends through layers of air that grow progressively warmer, heated by the planet's internal warmth, by the biological processes of the countless organisms that carpet its surface. The temperature inside the cabin rises slightly, just enough to feel comforting, like slipping under a blanket on a cool night, like being wrapped in something soft and protective. Through the dome, you can see your destination more clearly now. A hill rising from the surrounding landscape, its slopes covered in glowing vegetation, its summit flat and open, perfect for landing. The plants that cover this hill shine with a soft, welcoming light, predominantly blue-green but shot through with threads of gold and touches of pale pink. They sway gently in a breeze you cannot feel but can see in their movement, in the way the light shifts and flows across the hillside like water. The ship slows further, its descent becoming almost imperceptible, a gradual lowering that feels less like falling and more like settling, like finding your place, like coming to rest after a long day's journey. The glowing hill rises to meet you, its surface growing clearer, more detailed, revealing individual plants, each one a small miracle of bioluminescence, each one contributing its light to the greater whole. Around the base of the hill, you can see what might be flowers, larger blooms that glow with intense pink and violet light, their petals spread wide to the twilight sky. Between them grow smaller organisms, mosses or lichens perhaps, covering every available surface with a carpet of soft blue-green radiance. And rising above them all are the tree-like structures, their trunks glowing with vertical lines of light, their canopies spreading branches that end in clusters of luminous leaves that shine like small moons. This is a world at peace. A world that has found its own way, its own balance, its own method of surviving in the darkness between stars. And tonight, it offers you that peace, that balance, that survival. It offers you a place to land, to rest, to let go of everything you have been carrying and simply be. The ship hovers now, just above the surface of the glowing hill, its landing lights unnecessary in the natural radiance of the planet. You can see the ground clearly, covered in the soft, glowing vegetation, springy and thick, ready to cushion the ship's arrival. The plants sway in anticipation, their light pulsing slightly faster, as though they are welcoming you, as though they have been waiting for this moment. Your heart beats slowly, steadily, in rhythm with the pulsing light below. Your body feels heavier than ever, not with discomfort but with the profound heaviness of readiness, of preparation for deep and healing sleep. Your eyelids are weighted, barely able to remain open, and the light from the planet filters through your lashes, creating soft halos and starbursts of color. The ship begins its final descent, lowering the last few feet toward the surface. Through the dome, you watch the glowing ground rise to meet you, watch the plants bend and sway, watch the light intensify as the ship comes to rest. You are almost home. Almost there. Almost ready to release yourself completely into the darkness, into the light, into the deep and dreamless sleep that awaits. The glowing world holds you in its twilight embrace, patient and eternal, ready to receive you, ready to cradle you through the long and peaceful night. Just a few more moments. Just a few more breaths. And then, at last, you can let go. The ship touches down. You feel it, the gentlest possible contact, softer than a feather settling onto water, softer than snow landing on snow. The glowing vegetation beneath compresses slightly under the ship's weight, cushioning the landing, absorbing the arrival with perfect gentleness. And then, stillness. Complete and absolute stillness. You have landed. You have arrived. The journey is complete. For a moment, nothing moves. The ship rests on the hillside, surrounded by the soft blue-green glow of the alien grass, and you rest within the ship, held by the chair, cradled in the silence that follows the end of all motion. Outside the dome, the bioluminescent plants pulse gently with their own rhythms, creating waves of light that ripple across the hillside like breathing, like the slow rise and fall of a chest in deep sleep. The grass beneath the ship is unlike any grass you have ever seen. Each blade is slender and delicate, translucent, glowing from within with a soft aquamarine light that seems to emanate from every cell, every fiber. The blades are long, swaying in a gentle breeze that moves across the hilltop, and as they sway, their light intensifies and dims, creating patterns of brightness and shadow that flow across the ground like water flowing over stones. Between the blades of grass grow other things. Small flowers, if that is what they are, rising on thin stems, their petals spread wide to the twilight sky. These blooms glow with different colors. Some shine with pale violet light, their petals edged in silver. Others pulse with soft pink, warm and gentle as a blush. And scattered among them are flowers that glow golden, like tiny lanterns hung low to the ground, creating pools of warmth in the cooler blue-green radiance. The hillside slopes gently away from the ship in all directions, covered entirely in this luminous vegetation. Farther down the slope, you can see larger plants, structures that resemble ferns or fronds, their leaves unfurling in spirals, each leaf outlined in light, creating intricate patterns of glowing geometry against the dark soil. And beyond them, at the base of the hill, the forest begins, those tall tree-like organisms rising into the purple sky, their trunks glowing with vertical rivers of light, their branches spreading canopies of luminescent leaves. Above, the sky is a deep, rich purple, the color of twilight that never ends, never brightens to day, never darkens to full night. It is the perfect in-between, the eternal dusk, and against this purple canvas, stars are visible. Not the stars of Earth's sky, not the familiar constellations, but new stars, strange stars, the stars of Andromeda spread across the heavens in patterns you have never seen, will never see again. They shine with quiet brilliance, patient and eternal, watching over this lonely world as it drifts through the darkness between. And then, with a sound so soft you almost do not hear it, the ship's engines shut down. The gentle hum that has accompanied you throughout the entire journey, that barely perceptible vibration that you felt more than heard, fades into nothing. The systems power down, one by one, their work complete, their purpose fulfilled. Lights dim to minimal levels. Displays fade to darkness. The ship settles into its own rest, its own sleep, having carried you safely across 2.5 million light years, having brought you to this place of peace. The silence that follows is profound. It is not the silence of space, which carried within it the knowledge of vast distances and infinite emptiness. This is the silence of arrival, of completion, of being exactly where you are meant to be. There is no hum of engines, no whisper of air through vents, no sound from outside, because the rogue planet's atmosphere is still, the breeze too gentle to create noise, the glowing plants silent in their radiance. In this silence, you become aware of your body in a new way, a final way, as though you are noticing it for the last time before releasing it entirely into sleep. Your legs are heavy. So heavy. They rest against the chair, supported completely, every muscle released, every joint relaxed. Your thighs are soft, your calves are loose, your feet are warm and still. There is no energy left in your legs, no capacity for movement, no desire to move. They are done with their work. They are ready to rest. Your arms lie motionless on the armrests, and they too are heavy, weighted down with the most profound relaxation. Your shoulders have dropped away from your neck, releasing tension you have carried for so long you forgot it was there. Your elbows are soft. Your wrists are loose. Your hands rest with palms open, fingers gently curled, holding nothing, meaning nothing, simply existing in perfect stillness. Your torso is heavy against the chair, your chest rising and falling with breaths that are slow and deep and effortless. Your back is supported, every vertebra aligned, every muscle along your spine soft and yielding. Your hips are settled, your stomach is soft, and everything is letting go. Your neck can barely hold the weight of your head anymore, but it does not need to. The chair supports you completely, cradling your head in its gentle embrace. Your jaw is loose, your lips are parted slightly, and even your tongue rests softly in your mouth, all tension dissolved. And your eyelids. Your eyelids are so heavy now that keeping them open requires effort you no longer wish to make. The glowing landscape outside is beautiful, but you have seen it. You have arrived. You can let your eyes close now. You can let the darkness behind your eyelids replace the light outside, and it will be all right. Everything will be all right. Your eyes close. The glow from the plants outside filters through your eyelids, painting the darkness red and gold, warm and soft. But even this fades as you sink deeper, as the world outside becomes less important, less real, less present. The chair reclines slightly, adjusting one final time to the perfect angle for sleep. You sink into it, and it sinks with you, and together you descend into a state of rest so complete, so total, that there is no difference anymore between your body and the chair, between the chair and the ship, between the ship and the planet, between the planet and the universe. Outside, the glowing grass continues to pulse with gentle light. The flowers shine in their scattered colors, pink and violet and gold. The sky holds its stars in their unfamiliar patterns. And the world drifts on through the darkness, patient and eternal, carrying you with it. Breathe. Slow and deep. In and out. The light glows. Soft and gentle. Blue and green. Your body rests. Heavy and still. Safe and warm. Nothing to do now. Nowhere to go. Nothing to think about or worry about or remember. Just this. Just the glowing world. Just the purple sky. Just the silence and the stillness and the soft, eternal twilight. You are home. You are safe. You are held. Sleep now. Let go. The stars watch over you. The planet holds you. The grass glows softly beneath. Everything is well. Everything is peaceful. Everything is exactly as it should be. Your breathing slows. Your heartbeat quiets. Your mind drifts into darkness. And the darkness is not empty. It is full. Full of rest. Full of peace. Full of the deepest, most healing sleep. The journey is over. You have arrived. Sleep. Sleep deeply. Sleep peacefully. The glowing world waits. The twilight holds. The silence embraces. And you drift. Down and down. Into sleep. Into dreams. Into the quiet dark. Rest now. Rest. Sleep. The stars shine on. The planet drifts. And you sleep, safe and still, beneath the purple sky of Andromeda. Sleep. Just sleep. and let go.